Page 16, drop and lift. On page 16, they're introducing rests. They give you a rhythm chart and some technique. And they're talking about a slur and a legato. Now, a slur and a tie are the same symbol, more or less. We won't worry about ties yet. We'll get to those later. A slur is just a curved line above or below notes that tells you to connect them. If you look at the first measure, you have 3 notes. They're slurred. Means connect them. Play one after, don't let the sound stop. No big deal. If the slur line weren't there, you'd do it anyway. You'd play it the same. But there are times when the slur becomes important. So you need to know what it is. Now, the 4th beat of the first couple measures, they give you a quarter rest. A rest is the same as the note. Every note gets a rest, has a rest. Except instead of playing, you have to be quiet for that long, right? So if a quarter note gets 1 beat, and it does, then a quarter rest will get 1 beat, okay? So instead of playing anything during that 1 beat, you have to be quiet for 1 beat. Okay. So if I do the first measure, it's this: 1, 2, 3, off, or rest. We could say rest. 1, 2, 3, rest for that 1 beat, and then you go on. So the first 2 measures is this: 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, etc. Blah 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 blah. Okay. So you get quarter rests in here. Now, if you look at the first measure in the left hand, you get that box. And that box, if you look up above, is a whole rest. Remember, every note has a corresponding rest. A whole note gets 4 counts in this piece. There are no whole notes, but if there were, it would. So a whole rest gets 4 counts. I'm going to change that slightly and just say the whole rest gets the whole measure, regardless of how many counts, okay? If there were only 3 counts in a measure, the whole rest would get all 3 counts. Blah, 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 blah. You get the idea. Oh, goody. They're telling you that the wrist rolls forward to lift the finger out. Okay? I think what they mean is when you play the rest, you're going to here and you're going to lift the finger out this way. Like so. Isn't that nice? It's a fine technique. It's not necessary right now, but yeah, we like the idea of a loose wrist. You don't want a stiff wrist where you're doing this and your wrist is stiff and you lift the whole hand to get it out. We want the loose wrist, so this technique, it helps to enforce a loose wrist, but it's a little extra work. I mean, the point is just lift the finger up and rest. Just make sure you're loose. If you want to lift and roll, that's fine. Lift and roll. Have a ball. Go for it. Now look at the last measure of each line. In the first line it's a C, right hand. In the second line it's a C, left hand. But that has a half note with a little dot behind it. We call it a dotted half note. The dot gets half the value of the note. You just add them together. Okay? A half note gets 2 counts. Well, half of 2 is 1, so the dot gets 1 count. Put them together, and you got 3 counts total. So a dotted half note in 4/4 time gets 3 counts. You hold that note down for 3 counts, and then rest on the 4th count. So let's play this drop and lift together. The hand position. The right hand, if you notice, the first note is middle C, so you're going to put your thumb there and the rest of the fingers go wherever. That's the position for the right hand. The left hand plays the second line and the thumb plays middle C and the other fingers go wherever. So once again, we are in middle C position. The thumbs are on middle C. Now you may ask, if you want, it's okay. The first line is right hand only. The first 4 measures, the left hand doesn't play. So what's wrong with just putting the right hand up there and leaving the left hand off? And then when you get to the second line, you put the left hand up. And since the right hand doesn't play anymore, take the right hand down. And I will say there's nothing wrong with it. But since you are a beginner, I would encourage you to put both hands up there and leave them there for the whole piece. Later on, when you get better at this, you can take your hands, you got to get good enough to be able to move your hands around and do things with your hands. Let's simplify it just a little. To put both hands up there and leave them there for the whole piece for now. That's my suggestion. So I'll give you 4 counts, and we'll play this together. The right hand is where it goes, left hand's where it goes, and we're ready. 1, 2, ready, go. Rest, rest, 2, 3, rest, rest, rest,